Hello, I'm Dr. Nick Campos from the West Hollywood Healing Arts Center, and I want to show you today a great stretch for the hip flexor complex, specifically a muscle called the iliopsoas. The iliopsoas muscle is a low back muscle that is in the front of the lumbar spine. The psoas muscle is about here, and then the iliacus, which is right in the pelvic region. Those two muscles combine, attach into the femur or the thigh bone, and they flex the hip. They are hip flexors. When the hip flexors get tight, they can lead to certain postural changes, and they can lead to low back pain. So what happens with people with tight hip flexors posturally, they might be a little bent over in the waist. They may also have an excessive arch in the low back, and that's very often from tight hip flexors. So a great stretch is a lunge stretch that comes from a yoga stretch called crescent pose. And what you want to do, very important, is your starting position. So starting on a mat, you want to start with your feet hips width apart. You don't want to go too wide. A lot of people will overestimate. If you're going to err on the side of narrow, you want to have your feet hips width apart and parallel. So what people will often do is they'll have their feet turned out and then get in parallel. One might still stay turned out. You got to look at the insides of your feet, make sure that they are aligned and parallel. From the starting position, you want to take a long step forward on your mat. So you're stepping forward like so. A lot of people will take a short step, and so just make sure you're stepping forward very long. And from this position, you want to do a pelvic tilt, so it's tilting your pelvis forward. It's not an arch, it's going the opposite way. And then you want to translate your body forward. Then watch the back leg. You want to work your back leg back, so you're literally pulling your legs apart. You can just balance with your arms here on your thighs. Keep working the back leg back. You're not putting your heel down. This is very important. It's not putting the heel down. It's keeping your heel up on the ball of your foot, translating forward, working the leg back. In yoga, crescent pose is coming up like so, but you can easily just also balance on your thigh. Get your back leg back, translate forward. Great stretch, you'll feel it right in here. This opens up the hip flexor complex. I recommend doing this twice a day, every day. And we're going to show you next video another stretch that will hit another part of the psoas muscle. For pain exercise, for exercises for pain syndromes, sports injuries, please visit my website at drnickcampos.com. Dr. Nick Campos with the West Hollywood Healing Arts Center.